Well, hey there, everybody. We're celebrating our 2-year anniversary for Rate the Record podcast. Can't you tell by my awesome celebratory hat? This thing is kind of stupid, but regardless, in all seriousness, aside from how serious my hat is, thank you so much to everyone who's been hanging out with us for the last 2 years, who has shown us support and who likes what we do and everything like that. I know we're just a couple of bumbling fools when it comes to this music review thing, but we have fun with it, and we're glad you do too. So thank you very much for taking the time to check it out. 2 years has been great. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep having fun with it. We can only hope that the community keeps growing bigger and bigger. So once again, thank you very much. Enjoy today's episode, and I think Savannah has something to say as well.
Hey, it's Savannah from Rate the Record. We're just about to record our 2nd year anniversary video. I do want to thank you very much for sticking with us from the very beginning, or if you jumped in halfway, or if you don't even know who I am. Check out Rate the Record. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope to continue to annoy you with my shitty music takes. Thank you.
The following thoughts and opinions we're going to discuss regarding this album are strictly of our own personal interests. We are not professional music reviewers. We encourage respectful discussion and friendly banter in each episode, but we do not condone and will not tolerate bullying or belligerence. You are welcome to take what we say regarding the albums we rate with a grain of salt.
Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rate the Record podcast, episode 88.
Yay! 88, the year I was born. Woo!
Yeah, I was going to say...
makes me 24. Woo!
What a significant number, yeah. Don't you look at that, 88. But I feel like there's something more significant than 88. It's not the year, you don't count. It's not the year you're born. Who cares? Let's see. Parallel number edition. It is 88. No, we've done that plenty of times. There's 2 8s. Oh, it's number 2. We're turning 2. Rate the Record podcast is 2 years old. Look at the
Yay.
2. We both have 2s behind us.
I was gonna put 2 2s, and then we're a 2-2, or start singing Taylor Swift's 22. But there was really no way out of that, so I figured I would just stick with the 1.
The funniest part about you wearing a tutu is we never see you like below your torso.
It'd be around the neck like a clown, like the clown I am is what it is.
I mean, again, yeah, that would have worked. I mean, look at my goofy ass hat with the stupid balloons. I hate that I did this, but I'm gonna commit to the bit.
Commit.
Anyways, your teething terrible 2s host for the day are Kris and
Savannah, and she has no idea how she got here.
I don't think either of us do. It's 88 episodes later, and we're still doing this. Somehow we show up with dumb shit on our heads and everything like that. But hey, you know what? Thank you very much for tuning in today. What a special day. Yes, we are in our week of the 2-year anniversary. So realistically, August 17th, 2021, channel starts on YouTube. August 23rd, 2023, we upload our Meet the Host or intro style. That needs to be reduxed. If anything needs to be reduxed, it's that. And then August 30th, coming up in just a few days upon releasing this episode, that's when episode 1, Pearl Jam's 10, went up. So we are 2 years old. Thank you very much for joining us for our special anniversary.
Yay, and I'd like to think we've gotten any better. I hope.
We've gotten any better. Yay.
Yeah.
That's the joke. There's your joke.
Think of that. I'm so dumb. That's hilarious.
But yes, just make sure that if you like what you see and or hear today, especially what you see today, the very flat. Look at all the balloons and stuff we got going on. It's fantastic. Yeah. If you like what you see and or hear, make sure you do a bunch of things to show us your love and support, especially on this, our 2-year anniversary. Like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, follow. Any one of those 6 things, a combination of them, all of them, but at least bare minimum 1. Show us some love. It's free. It's quick to do. And we're super appreciative of everyone who does that. Because, I mean, we've made it this far. Subscribers, listeners, everyone has been increasing. So it's been super, super awesome. Thank you. So by the time we hit 3 year, we hope to have way more numbers than that too. So again, do one of those things. That all helps. And you can do all of that at ratetherecord.ca. Find all your streaming links over there. You can find all the social media links and follow us on social media too. Those numbers are very important. And then of course we have merch. You can request albums, and there is the Ko-fi.com/ratetherecord. Yes, we do have the RTR Club, $5 a month. If you do want to financially support us, early access to episodes, bonus content, which we're going to be recording bonus content today for Ko-fi as well, since it's a special occasion. Shout out, and we'll do your band's music as well over on Ko-fi. So yes, if you want any of that, if that sounds cool, $5 a month, Ko-fi.com/ratetherecord, all found at ratetherecord.ca.
Hell yeah, you did a really good job today. I feel like you've prepped.
You know what's funny is like I like to think I'm getting better each week, but if the audio listeners can't hear the balloons banging off my head because I have balloons tied to my hat, it's extremely distracting. So like I have to like pinpoint my focus because I told you off camera, like the balloons hitting my headphones sound like two bass guitars tuning themselves in each ear. Like it is, but I have to commit to the bit. I have to keep it on.
That is hilarious. I'm very glad that I didn't get any hats. I just jammed some glow sticks through the lobes of my ears and threw some Happy New Year glasses on. So very low effort.
I mean, low effort over here too. Some streamers, some balloons. A big number 2. That was the most expensive thing I bought. It was like $6.
Dang.
I really went all out.
And I have to keep that for your 29th birthday.
Yeah, and I should have kept the one too for my 21st birthday. Damn. The one that I used last year for the podcast. But anyways, if you've been here before, especially if you were here for the first anniversary, you know that we get a little goofy and weird with it. And so, hey, welcome back, regardless of how long you've been here. Glad that you're here to be a part of this all again. But if you're new here, wow, what an episode to jump in on. So this must look a little weird. We don't usually look like this, but it's just a special occasion. Anyways, welcome to the show. We hope you enjoy your stay. Have a lot of fun being part of the musical community that we're trying to build brick by brick, as I used to say before. But regardless, that means you don't know what we do here on the show. So each week, Savannah and I, we will take an album, choose an album, I should say, completely randomly. Doesn't really matter. No rhyme or reason. Just want to listen to one because XYZ reason. We take album requests plenty. We have one coming up next week, and we have like 3 more in the second half of season 5 so far. So we've got plenty coming up. It's all good. And anniversary albums. This is technically anniversary, but the album's not an anniversary. It's just an anniversary for us. Regardless, special occasion.
Yeah, mind your business.
Doesn't really matter. No. You don't have to mind your business because mind ours for the next hour or so. But regardless, we will choose an album, discuss it at length from front to back. We rank the songs and then we rate the record.
I'm not even going to try because if it doesn't sync up properly, I seem the fool. So you know what?
Like last week when we actually nailed it.
Not today, Satan.
You tried to fuck with me last week, but yet it came out perfect.
I had to say rate the record like maybe half a sentence to a whole sentence before you even said it. So I'm glad that you keep it consistent every week, or else I'd have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, as I said before, like I have some parts like static, you know, like I know, like I don't even have a script. It's just kind of like I know this part, so I'm gonna get it up. But then things like this right now, I have nothing memorized. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Like where am I?
Where are we? Yeah, where are we? Who are you?
I'm geriatric and I'm only like in my mid-30s. Alrighty then, but yes, today's episode 88. So every year it's been kind of a tradition now that we do a Pearl Jam album because our very first episode 1 was Pearl Jam's 10. Our first anniversary, I believe, was episode 47. We did Pearl Jam's Verses. So episode 88, our second anniversary, is only fitting that we're doing their 1994 album Vitalogy. Vitalogy. That's how you say it? Vitalogy?
I kept saying Vitalogy.
It's the V album that's not Verses. There you go.
Yes. This one just says Pearl Jam on the front, I'm pretty sure. No,
it just says Vitalogy. It looks like a storybook cover.
Yeah.
I make the thumbnails and stuff. I know exactly what these albums look
I definitely reviewed this.
Certainly hope so. Did you? I wonder if this is
outsource it.
I was going to say, is this the episode that you outsourced to Fiverr? Or just like you do like an AI thing? I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm sure one of these days I will.
Do this entire album review for me.
Oh my God. I would love for one episode to outsource the review to actual Fiverr. Like you do it, I do it, and then just read it. And I just imagine the disgust in our voice when we read something we don't agree with. And then we pick apart the person who wrote it instead.
Yeah, spend the entire episode bullying them. So if people give us shit for our opinions, like, well, it's not ours.
Right? That'd be perfect.
Our evil side is coming out 2 years in. It's finally happening. Alrighty then, so I'll tell you a little bit about Pearl Jam in this album, but here's the thing, as we've done with multiple... By the way, Pearl Jam's the first band on this show to have now 3 appearances.
Yeah.
Too bad it wasn't for the 3rd anniversary, but whatever. It's their 3rd appearance. It doesn't really matter. But regardless, because of that, I've read their biography a couple times. The 2nd time was condensed. This one's even more condensed. I spend much more time talking about this album because apparently this album almost destroyed the band.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. So here's a very condensed biography of Pearl Jam, and then I'm going to talk about Vitalogy. So Pearl Jam is an alternative rock band of Seattle, Washington, formed in 1990 with members vocalist Eddie Vedder, guitarist Mike McCready, guitarist Stone Gossard, and bassist Jeff Ament. And for the sake of today's album, Dave Abruzes.
Abruzes. Oh, fuck. I knew this earlier.
Abruzes. Regardless, he was on drums and percussion, but he was actually fired shortly after this album anyways. So their debut album blew up, Versus did very well as well, and then they released today's album. There you go, the very condensed biography. So nice. Vitalogy, whatever the hell you want to call it, is the third studio album from Pearl Jam. It was released on November 22nd, 1994, and was released through Epic Records. It was recorded at many studios, including Bad Animals in Seattle, Southern Tracks in Atlanta, Doppler in Atlanta, and Kingsway in New Orleans. So they were like all over the map for that. Wow. I believe they also wrote this one on tour, so that's probably why they had different studios like that. The album was produced by Pearl Jam and Brendan O'Brien, who has also worked with bands such as Kansas, the Black Crowes, which they did Shake Your Moneymaker, by the way. So we've heard that name come up before. What the hell has he done? Temple of the Dog, which is another Vedder project, or most of Pearl Jam. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stone Temple Pilots, Aerosmith, Soundgarden, Neil Young, Rage Against the Machine, Limp Bizkit, and so many more.
Wow.
He's another producer with a huge resume, you know? Yeah. Granted, a lot of the albums he did were around the same time, so he was building the resume at that point. Most of the album was written and recorded while the band was touring on the back of their 1993 album Versus. The album was originally set to be released in early 1994, but was ultimately delayed by the label due to Pearl Jam's battles with Ticketmaster. Boy, how timely! If only they could do that again, huh?
Oh my God. And it's funny because this whole Taylor Swift Eras tour and everyone's like, oh my God, fight against Ticketmaster. You know, there's the few of us that are sitting back going, Pearl Jam tried. Good luck, kids. Good luck.
Taylor's far more powerful than Pearl Jam was at this point. It still is, really. Pearl Jam's not powerful. Like, she has so much goddamn pull. When the prime minister of the country is begging for you to tour, you have power. She might not admit it, although she didn't exactly win her fight against Spotify, so what does that tell you? Regardless, more about this album. Tensions in the band increased due to drug use and rehab, communication failing between members, Eddie making most of the final decisions by himself, and other small reasons. So, like, things were kind of crumbling at the seams here. Dave Abruzes, hopefully that's the last time I have to say that name. I can't remember how many more times I wrote it. He stepped away from production to have his tonsils removed and would be fired a short time later due to inter-band conflict.
I remember this. Yeah, he was
when it happened?
No, I remember reading about it. I know little bits and pieces of trivia about Pearl Jam, and I think it was he like came back, and was like, what the fuck? Where's my job? I don't think he quit or like was on his way out. I think this was a surprise. So that probably really fucking sucks.
And continue on for that too. It does suck. Yeah. Like you have your tonsils removed and suddenly bye. You missed production time. He was briefly replaced by former Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Jack Irons. The album, so Matt Cameron wasn't there yet. I don't think he comes in for another year or so.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Where did I leave off? I keep losing my place on the page here. Okay. The album received mostly positive reviews. The LA Times gave it 4 out of 4 stars. The Village Voice gave it an A-. The Rolling Stone Album Guide and our mutual acquaintances over at All Music, wow, that's really slipping for them, gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Q and Rolling Stone gave it a 4 out of 5. And fellow B-tier enthusiasts at Entertainment Weekly gave it a B+.
Of course they did. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, see, this is why I'm kind of like distancing myself from All Music now, because we found our true calling. We found our true soulmates over at Entertainment Weekly.
Sometimes you have to date someone to find out that you love their father. So you wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for your ex.
I'm with my partner right now. We've been together for 15 years, and she wasn't my first girlfriend. So, I mean, like, I went through a few to get to this one, right?
Exactly.
Let's see. Where else did I leave? I keep losing my spot on the page. The album hit number 1 on many charts, including the US Billboard, Swedish, New Zealand, Ireland, and Australia. It didn't chart in Canada until 1995, where it peaked at number 2. The album went 15 times platinum in 4 different countries, 5 in the US, 5 in Canada, 4 Australia, and 1 in New Zealand. It also went gold in 4 countries as well. The album spawned only technically 3 singles: Spin the Black Circle, Not For You, and Immortality. But note that Better Man, though not a commercial single. It's the only track to go #1 on this album anywhere in the world.
Corduroy wasn't a single.
No, another one, right? Yeah.
What?
Although, granted, I don't remember hearing Corduroy as much as like Better Man, which I still hear to this day.
Oh, I hear Corduroy. Weird. That's a couple albums so far that one of their most popular songs on the album wasn't even a single. That's really surprising.
And it's kind of like the first time we covered Pearl Jam realized that, oh man, Yellow Ledbetter's not on any of these albums. What the fuck? I mean, well, it's like one of those, it's like the staple song to close out the show. Like this is like encore type thing. It's already in the encore territory.
Yeah. Dang. Okay.
Alrighty then. Well, I spent a long time talking about the album because I kept losing my place on the page. Let's actually get into this, celebrate the anniversary, and start talking about this album. So song #1, Last Exit.
Last Exit for the first song. What is this? Opposite Day?
You're so funny, though.
So just like you're unsure of how funny I am unsure about how I feel about the beginning little tune-up to the song. I don't know. I've always kind of hated it. It's doesn't affect me as much as before. But before I'm like, just cut it out for fuck's sakes. You don't need that.
Well, apparently if there was, drug problems behind the scenes with this one, maybe that was a factor. I can't remember. I think it was Mike McCready who was like maybe having coke problems as well.
Probably. Yeah.
So last time there was a band getting into drug problems that ventured into this kind of territory, I believe we talked about One Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which was a very different album for them.
Yeah.
And so actually there's a number of points on this album when I got One Hot Minute vibes, despite the fact this one came out first. So like this was 94, that was 95. But like, I don't know, there was a few points on this album like this sounds like something out of the sessions of One Hot Minute. So that's pretty interesting to me.
I hope they're the funky songs that I mentioned they're funky. I hope they're the same ones.
Well, One Hot Minute wasn't super funky though. Like Aeroplane, and that's about it. Everything else was like more like straightforward rock and borderline metal.
Well, we'll see as we go on.
I guess so. I do like that little. I like the weird little fake intro. I thought it was kind of cool. Whatever. Like I'm not too mad about it. It doesn't last long, so it's not too much to be mad about. Then the drums kind of just pounded in. Song starts, and it's good energy to kick everything off too. So we're more or less off to a good start, and like the verse and chorus blend a little bit. But the thing is, this is like less than 3 minutes. I just enjoy the pacing of it enough, so it didn't really bother me that things were blending. It just good pace, good energy, pretty short, so you're not like constantly searching for what's what. Yeah, so I didn't notice much. It's fine.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of effects on the guitars. They just seem pretty clean and straightforward. Feels like garage rock, and I actually kind of like that. And that drum lead, what the fuck does that mean? Okay, you know what? Remind me to use punctuation next time.
I'll remind you not to use Fiverr next time. Jesus.
Well, yeah. Who the hell wrote this? That drum lead up to Eddie yelling is a nice contrast to just speaking the song title before the song ends. That's it. At the end of the song, where he's like, this, and he's yelling. And then at the end, he's like, last exit. And that's it. I actually kind of like that. Yeah, I like that contrast. Because
the other note that I have, I said, do I hear Eddie quietly say that stinks at the very end of the track? Because then I disagree, Mr. Vedder. I actually quite liked it. Because like he's like yelling, and I thought he hated taking just him like that stinks, and then it's like cool. We're keeping that in then. And considering considering that Eddie had the final say on this album for a lot of the tracks, like the fact that he would keep that in, so I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe he had a change of heart when he was in production. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Thank you for that already, first song.
But yeah, this overall, like this album has far more of like a grungier, punkier vibe than the other two albums did.
Yeah.
Like the other two albums were like more groove oriented, kind of more bluesy, like kind of hard rock type feel. This actually has that grunge feeling that people would think of when Pearl Jam's referred to as like one of the big four in grunge, you know? So that's also kind of why I felt it was like the One Hot Minute, because like this one felt different as compared to the others.
Yeah. I think there's a couple songs on this album that lyrically lament the fact that grunge got popular and stuff like that. But you saying that this sounds grungy, I'm like, the irony. The irony is not lost on me.
Oh, I will mention too. So usually we don't do lyrical analysis, and I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot to do it for the last one. But I actually have like the song meaning, or at least my own interpretation for every song moving forward. This is the first time I've ever done this. I was like, hey, you know what? It's a 2-year anniversary. I might as well go a little extra special for it. Because on that note too, there was a song later on where there was a song written about how like. He resents the fame because a lot of it is based on the band's sound, and bands like Nirvana as well. Like they got famous on their sound, but like the deeper meaning behind the lyrics are usually ignored because like it's just we care about loud and heavy. That's all we want. Like so there is a song like that coming up later in the album. But yeah, I think that kind of thing is alluded to a couple times, like his struggles with the music industry.
Yes. Yeah.
So as I said, I forgot to do Last Exit. My apologies, but I'm pretty sure it's if you read through, you can probably get something out of that. But number 2, a song I've been waiting to do for the last 3 Pearl Jam albums now. Spin the Black Circle. I've always loved Spin the Black Circle.
I know that it's about, spinning records, listening to music, blah, blah, blah. I just like to imagine that it's a song about spinning this magical album that when you spin it at a certain speed, it turns into a vortex and then you jump into it and you live with the mole people.
See, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I could dig that. At least stick your head in and peek in and be like, what do y'all look like down here? And then they're like, mole people, and then that's all they say. They're kind of like crab people from South Park. They're just like, mole people, mole people.
Oh my God. Yep. The imagination is strong with this one.
Well, it better be. I feel like I'm going to be having a few drinks tonight because we have a lot to record today other than just this episode.
Yeah, loopy.
Well, the mixtape's coming out tomorrow. That'll be on YouTube. And also Kofi's going to get a bonus like chill podcast too. So there you go. We're recording a lot today. So a lot of alcohol. But yeah, it's funny because like as much as I've always loved Spin the Black Circle, again, I've never really took the time to analyze the lyrics. Didn't know it was about it, just spinning records. And yeah, it was like how Eddie Vedder thought that. Oh, I'm tearing out my hat now, like the tinsel in my hat. Eddie Vedder thought that like the youth of the day were kind of like neglecting LPs and like moving past that because like CDs were obviously huge at this point. Cassettes were still kind of a thing. Yeah. So I mean, this was just like his professing his love for this medium of music, and how fitting for our show, right? The record, right? And I usually show vinyls. I don't have Vitalogy, so I can't do that. I don't think I have a Pearl Jam vinyl. No, I don't.
Me neither.
I've owned 3 Pearl Jam CDs my entire life. I've owned 10 and Versus, and I was gifted their self-titled album back in like 2005 when it dropped. So there you go.
Yeah. I don't have any. I don't think I've ever owned it. No, but I listened to Lightning Bolt from 2013 a lot. That was pretty good. Can't wait for 20 years until we get to that.
Yeah, that's going to take a little while, huh?
Right? Just speaking of you saying Eddie Vedder was all kind of like, oh, the youth these days, blah, blah, blah. Guy was 29 when this album came
Fucking
out.
Kids.
Right? And he had to have been like 27, 28 when it was being written. So like, man, shut up.
Yeah, he wrote this on the Versus tour. So, I mean, there you go, right?
Jeez Louise.
But kind of going back to that idea, too, that it was like good punk energy and everything like that. And that's what you kind of feel like that. You get that a lot in this one. Very loud, very noisy, very fun. Like it feels like just a bunch of downstrokes on the guitar, just like old punk music used to do. So it's very good. The aggression on this track always gets me hyped. I love it. It's also a very short track, too. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. So you're not dragging too long. All good. I love it. And like, as I did write this note here, although I mentioned before, things feel far grungier than the previous albums, and that can be said for a lot of tracks moving forward. Like you still have like the quieter, balladier, come down kind of stuff, but there's still like a lot of aggression on this album.
I definitely agree. I did mention it was pretty punky as well, and I really like the main riff chords. They sound like they make me feel weird in some sort of like inquisitive way. Like, you know, when something makes you uncomfortable, but not enough that you're going to like leave and not interact with it. You kind of leave and then you go, I'm really curious about that. And then you advance a little. That's kind of how I feel about listening to those chords. I hear it and I'm like put off and I'm like, let's see where this goes. And it goes somewhere good. I like it. I've always liked this song.
Yeah, it's never needed to go too far from what it originally does too. The song doesn't go too crazy with like throwing in a completely different B or C section, you know? Like it's pretty straightforward. Again, things kind of blend. Actually, realistically, things blend pretty easily in this song, but again, you don't notice because the energy is fantastic and so just like it keeps you captivated the entire time.
It's definitely a song you can run on a treadmill too. You just run. It's fantastic.
I've seen them perform the song live while Eddie was wine drunk, so that was fun.
And because they speed up their songs live, I can just imagine how fast this one was.
See, I don't remember that because I saw them in 2005. So, I mean, at this point, that's 18 fucking years ago. Sick.
Yeah.
Ew. Not good, like tight sick. That's disgusting sick.
I saw them in 2003, so I understand.
God damn it. Oh, yeah, you're exactly 20 years ago. There you go. There's the in our 2-year anniversary right there. It's your 20, whatever the hell I'm going with that. Anyways, I guess we're just good to move on now. Song number 3, Not For You. If it's not for me, I'll just move on. That's fine.
No, I like this song. I love how he like amps up his tone and emotion as the song's going on. It feels like he's yelling and berating me personally. And like, go ahead, because I know it's easy to say, well, I've always liked the song, but I like how aggressive and go fuck off this song is.
Well, this is one of the ones that's directed the music industry as well. As far as I can, like, you can tell they were in their Ticketmaster hating phase or just music industry in general hating phase, which obviously went over to Yield too, because like that was like the last music video they ever did for a very long time. But yeah, the song is apparently how Eddie hated the exploitation of kids by the music industry, just like buy the records, buy this, buy that, buy all the fucking merch, and it was like being directed at younger kids, i.e. pop music, for example, that was coming along, because obviously who's the biggest consumer of pop music? Little children. Savannah going to Taylor Swift's concert.
Hell yeah, as a 35-year-old. What? Oh my God, I'll be 36 by the time I get to see her.
That's next November. It's not even this November.
Right?
God,
right?
You're gonna be too old to go. You're gonna be asleep. You'll get there and want to rent a hotel because like I can't do this. I can't do this. The crowd will exhaust you.
Hey, 1, we have seats I can sit down. 2, we are renting a hotel. Yes.
Do you have 2 seats you can lay across them? I mean,
no, I don't. No, I don't.
That's fine. But yeah, so I especially with the modern fight against Ticketmaster we hinted at earlier, I kind of hope that he maybe in his later discography, I'm not sure, but maybe he did a part 2 to this because we could really use a part 2 right about now.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I was going to say, I think the only band or artist that's come close in recent years to fighting Ticketmaster and actually kind of succeeding was Robert Smith of The Cure.
Oh, really?
The Cure was on tour and the tickets were fucking outrageous. Smith finds out and he tells Ticketmaster, he's like, I'm going to cancel my entire tour if you don't do something, like reimburse these people right now, or I'm going to cancel everything. So they reimburse people like a ton of money. And then he came out and said, he's like, if it were up to me, I'd be charging $25 a ticket.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, considering that when I tried buying Cure tickets for like kind of okay seats was like closer to $300, and he said he would be willing to charge 25. It's like, you know, it's not the band then. It's definitely the fucking assholes behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just like, and I'm going to bring up Taylor Swift only because it's topical with it right now. But a lot of people are like, oh, she's a millionaire and she doesn't need all that money. It's like, bitch, she ain't doing it. Like, she's on her plane flying to the next place while people are hammering on laptops getting her stuff done.
Oh, she was really down to earth. She would just ride a pickup truck to the next stage. She wouldn't take a private plane. Right?
But she can't do anything without crowds and crowds of people. So it's like, oh no, she's just like all of us. No, you're stupid and delusional. Shut up.
Say, you can walk through a Walmart and no one will even fucking blink at you. Whereas if Taylor Swift does that, there's a fucking riot.
Right? There's also a girl on TikTok and she looks very similar to Taylor Swift and she leans heavily into it. And recently she went out and kind of dressed in that manner and was like swarmed and then said that the experience was horrific.
I imagine.
You did it. You're the one who you could have just been normal, Ashley at the Walmart, but it's crazy. It's just crazy. People are crazy, and
some people want to taste the fame and then they immediately hate it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't blame
Well,
him. 'Cause
that's
you go from a private life to suddenly everything you do is public. Like, it's fucking disgusting. I hate it.
And we round right back to Eddie Vedder.
Exactly. There's battles with Ticketmaster and the music industry and everything like that. Talking about the actual song, though, not for you, I do like the come down pacing of this track. I mean, like, there's still good energy and aggression in it, but, like, not nearly as much as, like, say, the previous track, for example, where it's like Spin the Black Circle was like probably the fastest, most energetic song on the entire album. So like you're coming down from that and it still feels significant enough. So I like that. It's pretty cool. I do really like the muffled guitar layers in this song too. Like there's a lot of different layers of guitar, but in the bridge especially, I thought they were pretty cool. It gives this production like a big, messy, but yet coherent feel to it. So I don't know. I'm enjoying things like this. Like again, you could tell there's probably cocaine going on because of how many guitar layers there are. Need we talk about fucking Oasis and that Definitely Maybe album where apparently they hated it because of all the coke they were doing?
Was it? I think Definitely Maybe was their first one. Be Here Now is the one with Do You Know What I Mean on it.
Okay, then that's the one. Sorry, I get them confused.
Yeah, that one's notorious.
I'm not huge on my Oasis discography, although I do like Do You Know What I Mean, but I know Noel Gallagher hates that song because of how much fucking coke they were on.
Yeah, and I think he's called it like an overblown like mess or whatever. And I'm like, well, it's just now you learn, live and learn.
I listen to My Bloody Valentine. I'm used to overblown sounding music. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. With this one, speaking of the guitars, like in this, I hear the squealing of one guitar on one side, and it kind of ramps up as the main riff is played. So it kind of like, I don't know, it just adds so much seasoning to just that main riff. And I really like that. I like the massive amount of distortion on the rhythm guitar through the bridge. It feels like a talk box. I like that. Probably what you were talking about. And I really want to mention that bass walk down through the quiet bit after the solo. If you can't recall it or didn't hear it, listen to it again. You could totally hear it. I loved it. It was fantastic. And the bass for this entire album has quite a few spots where I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And then there's one song that I barely heard it to the very end. I was very let down.
Yeah, Jeff Ament definitely stepped up a lot in this album. Apparently, he was very close to leaving the band at this point, too.
Really?
Because
out of all of them, he seems like less of a cokehead.
Yeah, who knows? I don't really know much of his personal life. But yeah, like the tensions were becoming too much and he was threatening to leave. Didn't though, not surprise, I should say, spoiler, he's still in the band to this day, so
yeah.
They all technically are, except for the drummer, which I'm not going to say his name again.
Spinal Tap drummer band.
Yeah, this song didn't actually feel like it was nearly 6 minutes, despite the fact it's 5 minutes and 52 seconds. It's pretty long. I did like the trail off ending too. It felt more appropriate to have than just like a fade or a ring out. It was calm, a little noisy, but I thought it fit. It was nice, and it did have that like little bass moment too, while like the guitars were kind of like making little noises in the background. So I thought that was kind of nice. Yeah,
I also mentioned the length. Don't think it feels long at all. Pacing really good. I like it. I've always liked it. It's nice.
Perfect. Then we'll move on to song number 4, Tremor Christ. And I'll just say right at the back about the song meaning, because like at this point I have like the song lyrical meaning like at the top of every one of my notes. Okay. The song seems to be about potentially straining important relationships with bad decisions, i.e. drugs and alcohol, and like just trying to find some sort of like clarity in it all, which how topical considering what was going on behind the scenes.
Right. Just musically, I would not be surprised if the bassist wrote this. It's very like bass forward, which is nice. I did find the song a little underwhelming, but the bass makes it memorable.
I don't know. I didn't find it too underwhelming. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I thought the dissonance in the instruments was like pretty fun. I thought it was well used. Then yeah, the bass and drums kind of kick in. Great stuff. So it really kind of pushes the song forward. I hate moving my head too much. These fucking balloons are just flying. Great work on the tom drum too. So I always point that out when I notice it in the track. Loved it here too. Fantastic. Fun higher scale bass line. There's like a lot grabbing me in the first seconds of this song. So like that's how I knew I was in for something good.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much. I was surprised. I did feel like I was kind of listening to the same minute 4 times. There is a part or two where you can just barely hear another Eddie vocal track like in the background, but it sounds like he's down the hall and around the corner. It is so quiet. It's like he's running down the hall going, no, I'm here to record.
He's just like, wandering around the studio aimlessly away from the mic.
Right? Because it's got his vocals forward, like where they should be, and then him far in the back. But aside from that, it was okay. Didn't care much for the rest of it aside from the bass. But I will always praise the bass no matter what.
And see, I felt kind of the opposite about it because, like, I thought the song had like a pretty cool, like, mysterious kind of flow to it, and it matched some of the more aggressive pushes in this song as well. There was like a lot of fun composition in this track. Kind of made it feel right where I mentioned my notes. Kind of made me feel like what One Hot Minute sounded like as compared to the other Red Hot Chili Peppers albums. So
yeah,
like that's where I guess I really started getting the vibes from, and then like looking back on everything, I was like, oh yeah, it's like a lot of the album has that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but just like it's just one of those things where it feels like they're letting loose and they're getting a little heavier this time and just like doing whatever, whereas compared to the sound that they're known for at this point was kind of absent on this album. It was still there, but it wasn't as prominent as the first two.
But are they really known for a sound?
Well, I mean, if you listen to like Alive and Even Flow, like I guess so those are like more groove-oriented bluesy rock tracks,
stadium songs.
Yes, whereas nothing on this album would really scream stadium to me. Like I've heard a stadium of people sing, well, not stadium, it was like a coliseum of people sing Better Man, which is on this album. But I mean that I wouldn't consider that like stadium or arena rock, you know, like that's just not what this is. Like more like local club holds 1,000 people and you're just like sweaty, heavy, loud, energetic music, you know?
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Where you're on a stage only like 3 feet off the ground.
Like everything about the first two albums felt way bigger than this. This felt more intimate and just like messy, but I like that, so it's good.
Okay. With that, I can kind of agree. Yeah.
And you could probably hear that moving forward, like with certain tracks on the album. Not so much this one though, because I mean, obviously it's way more of a come down than the last one. Song number 5, Nothing Man. It's a song about a failed relationship. This is a first of a two. I don't want to say two-parter, but Better Man is the call and answer to this song. Nothing Man is from apparently the man's perspective. And the man had something good, messed it all up somehow, which you kind of find out through the lyrics. So yeah, that's what this one is, whereas Better Man is like from the woman's perspective and how she sees the relationship failing.
I didn't know that. I guess my last point for this song is pretty valid to that. I honestly don't think I'm sad enough to listen to this because it gives you sort of that desperate, sort of dire feeling. It's more of a viber than it is like, it's harder for me to explain like, oh, I like the guitar here, I like the drums here. I'm just like, I feel like my heart hurts when I listen to this.
Well, I mean, and the one line that caught me when I was reading the lyrics and just like breaking everything down was like, you know, had lightning in a bottle and damn the day he let it go. Which means like, you know, he found something special and he fucked it up. Like, I mean, a lot of the lyrics kind of speak on that too. And then again, you hear the perspective in Better Man where it's like the woman's like, she's watching this guy fall apart. She can't do anything, but she's lying to herself saying, I love this guy regardless, even though she doesn't. She just like stuck. Can't find a better man. Yeah. There you go. Like that's the story right there. But about this one though, yeah, this was another good point for come down. This one's a much bigger come down than the last one I said was. Like, this is like way more ballady. It's a much needed breather since there's like quite a bit of energy up to this point and there's still more energy to come. Very somber and soft tone to this track. The clean guitars have a really nice touch of like reverb to them. And that really helps fill out the sound space a lot more. So I definitely appreciate that. And yeah, the bass, again, talking nicely about that, gives the track a very nice warm tone, so it feels a lot more inviting. The song doesn't really go far beyond its first like minute or two, but I think it was still more or less enjoyable all the way through. Like, it's another one of those things where I wasn't getting a whole lot, but at the same time, I'm not complaining about it.
I like Eddie harmonizing with himself, and I just like that in general. And I wonder how many layers there are to sort of get all that. You did sort of mention perhaps multiple guitar layers, so I can imagine how much they doubled up on vocals, tripled up on vocals. So, but I always like it. Yeah, it's a breather. Damn, is it ever a breather? But I feel like we kind of need that, especially with the song coming up.
As I said, there's still more aggression on the album. We're not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, what else was I going to say? It must not be important because I don't remember. So that means we can move on to song number 6, Whipping.
So I don't have much for this one because it is only a 2.5-minute song. Fast-paced and punky again with some squeaky guitars. Again with the dancing bass. He could have just stayed with quarter root notes to stick with the punkiness, but no. This is a walkabout for sure. And oh my God, there's a part in the second verse that the bass drum gets some doubles in there. Ooh, that was a pleasure to hear.
Ooh,
and that was it.
Like a good double kick.
Yeah, because it wasn't in the first verse. But then when they kind of change it up a little bit in the second verse, I always noticed, I'm like, nice, keeping the interest. Okay. So that was really pleasurable.
You know, it's realizing what this song is about and realizing I'm wearing a hat like this that makes me feel like a piece of shit. Very real world topic for the conversation on this one. It's pretty heavy. It has to do with the murder of Dr. David Gunn in 1993. He was a physician who specialized in obstetrics and gynecology and specialized in abortion services. He was murdered by an anti-abortion extremist, Michael Frederick Griffin, who claimed to be acting on behalf of God. So that's what this song is about. Very heavy stuff. And again, this is kind of why I'm glad I despite wearing this hat, I'm glad I looked into the lyrical content. Right. Because I mean, like, I know Eddie is known for writing about like social issues. I mean, they're a very political, like left-leaning band. Like, and if you follow them on Instagram, you know that in half a heartbeat. Like, it's not hard to see. So seeing something like this doesn't surprise me. It's still a very dark subject matter, though. But onto the music itself, though. Big pickup. It doesn't even really tease us, just throws us right into the music. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. The first chorus is much quieter than what I would have expected, but like it still fits to hear it in that sense because they do pick it up a little later on. I love the building feeling it has with like the high riding bass and the constant kick drum kind of marching going on, like do and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this song, cool stuff all around. Good short track. Not too much more to say about it. Aggressive, fun, but dark.
I feel like you're raining on my parade with all these dark songs, and I hope this isn't an Elliott Smith thing where I'm like, oh, this sounds so great, and you're like, it's about this tragic event, and I go, well, it's still a bop. It still sounds
like when I told that story that like he had like got into a fight with someone, wandered away, like cut himself, come back to his studio and playing piano while he's bleeding out on it. Like, yeah, great Elliott Smith fun time stories, right?
Fun times.
Well, the good news is Eddie Vedder didn't come back to the studio with flash wrists, so no one did as far as I'm concerned, so we're okay. Just the subject matter's a little dark, that's all.
Thank God.
And I mean, not every song is as dark, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, although some of them are still kind of like Eddie being pissed off at things. Surprise, Eddie Vedder's pissed off at things. Surprised.
Right? Yeah, you get a lot of that here.
Okay, so song number 7, we'll move along now to Pry 2, which is like an interlude. It's like only a minute long. Yeah. It's like a little jam session interlude with like repetitive lyrics going on. So, God, he's spelling out privacy, and he's like, privacy is priceless to me is essentially what he's saying.
Oh, yeah.
There's not really, I mean, that's pretty straightforward message, so there's not much to talk about. But apparently people think you can hear backwards messages in this song. And apparently the phrase you hear is Pete Townshend, how he saved my life, or Pete Townshend, sorry, from The Who, the guitarist of The Who. And I mean, like, that makes me feel weird because I know Eddie Vedder really likes The Who, like, and they did a cover of like Love Reign Over Me and like live, and it sounded pretty cool. But to say that this guy who was originally nearly charged with possession of child pornography, you're telling me this guy saved your life?
I didn't know that. Okay, ew.
Okay, very quick story time. I'll make this super quick then. So Pete Townsend, back in 2003, he was charged. I don't know. Wait, sorry, he didn't have possession. So what? I had to read this, and this fucking blew my mind. Like, I've known about this for a while, but not the details. So in 2003, he was caught accessing a site with quote unquote child abuse images on it, and he used his credit card to access the website. So his actual real credit card, his name, but he said he was doing research for a book he was writing, and he wanted to show how the bank was complicit in this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Then why wouldn't you go to the cops and do it with them rather than on your own, you fucking nut?
I don't even have this written down. It's just I'm kind of speaking like out of my own head right now. So they eventually, because they just believed him, he's famous, I guess, they gave him a warning and let him go. So no charges, no jail time, no nothing. But yeah, my idea is first off, this book has never seen the light of day. Where's the book, Pete? Where's the book, Pete?
Yeah.
Second off, like if you want to write about this kind of stuff, like if you're doing like a true crime or documentary style, like kind of writing, nothing's stopping you. Go ahead. Like this can be important stuff. But yes, contact the FBI, the RCMP, whatever your major like police force is in your country. Find the appropriate people to talk to, speak to them about it, because they actually have statistics on how much money is being spent in that black market. So, and like the fact that money can be exchanged and then you even go through banks, you don't need to use your own fucking credit card on a cheese pizza site just to try to prove a point. Like, you don't need to do guerrilla journalism when it comes to this kind of shit, okay? I mean, but the charges were dropped. I'm not going to accuse him of anything, and I don't want to get in trouble for talking about it, so I'll leave it right there and let people make up their own minds.
I knew Roger Daltrey was the better one.
Meanwhile, it was Pete who wrote all the music anyway.
I know nothing about the Who. Their music annoys me.
He wrote all the lyrics, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I fucking hate Tommy. Tommy's the worst thing ever.
There's one, it might be Pinball Wizard, the only song by them I like, maybe.
I like Elton John's cover of it, and that's about it. Oh, yeah?
A lot of them are just annoying, I find, so that's just me.
I don't mind some of their songs. But anyways, that's The Who. Eddie Vedder's Heroes. He obviously, like... Listen, I like a lot of classic rock music, and I can very easily acknowledge a lot of the musicians I like have done some very sketchy things with some very young people in the past. Yep. So it's one of those things where, you're just going to have to separate the art from the artist. So I get it. I understand. Yeah. I just wanted to make that little bit because I've heard that story a long time ago, and every time I hear it, it just frustrates me.
And there's no backwards message in this song, you dummies.
I was going to try it too. I was going to record the track into like virtual DJ and then play it backwards and see if I could hear. Maybe I'll do it and I'll mention in editing if I heard anything. Who knows?
Okay, good.
Hi there. Editor's note here just saying, no, you don't hear anything of the sort. Maybe you think you do now that you've heard the words of me saying that, but you don't hear it. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. Stop it. Back on with the episode now.
I will actually try it because apparently people also heard like "please save me" or "please help me" or something like that. So
but some people heard Yanny and some people heard Laurel. So I mean, it's just the way it goes, you know.
Yeah, I guess right? So. Never forget, never forget. Anyways, song number 8, "Corduroy," the one you thought was a single, but psych isn't.
How is it not a single?
I'd rather starve than eat your bread. That's the line I've always remembered in this song.
My first line for this is, anyone who doesn't like this song clearly has problems, and I genuinely feel bad for you. So,
coming from someone with problems.
I have a lot of problems, but liking this song is not one of them.
I was going to say, sorry for bullying you for half a second there.
That's fine. I'm
Happy anniversary.
It's the generation I grew up in, you know.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Like literally separated by a handful of months.
Yep. Which one day I'll find out. I'm just kidding. I already know. I just haven't told you yet.
You said you were going to, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to tell you here or if you just on close to that day I show up with happy birthday stuff.
You didn't.
I found out afterwards.
Oh, there you go. Anyways, "Corduroy."
So I love how the song fades in, and like I love the lead riff. There's not really anything about the song that I don't like. So we'll sandwich your criticisms because I literally have zero.
Well, let me just kind of speed run my notes here because I'm trying to see if I do have any criticisms. I say that there's nothing too grabbing about the verses. Like, they don't necessarily sound bad.
Yeah.
I don't hate them by any means, but like nothing is grabbing me about them, and it just kind of feels like a little unusual in the composition. But I also really liked what the intro was building up to. I thought that would have been really interesting, but then it like kind of completely 180s a little bit.
Okay.
So that was kind of unfortunate, but again, didn't hate it. The choruses were pretty good. I liked the softer descending melodies. I thought that was super cool and everything like that. And by the way, this song, song meaning, apparently this, I'll just read this verbatim because I can't remember. Oh yeah, I now remember the meaning. Yeah, Eddie wrote this song about not wanting fame anymore, which was quite the theme around this time, because he saw a corduroy vest in a store, the same that he had worn before, but it was $500 and labeled as Eddie Vedder corduroy shirt. And so imagine like him spending maybe less than $20 on that at like a fucking like Salvation Army thing, right?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're selling for $500. But also I'm thinking like, Eddie, what store are you shopping in where you're looking at $500 shirts? Right. Just curious, because I don't think I've ever been in a store in my entire life, aside from like suit shops, that have sold $500 shirts. So
it could have been one of those like California thrift stores where you go in these more, I don't know, affluent areas, and it's like they have all their clothes to shop. And then they have a mannequin with that jacket on in like glass casing and a velvet rope around it.
But I would still be curious to know like what store it was. And by the way, I'm just kind of like trying to kill time because I'm looking at the inflation rate for $500 back in 1993 in American dollars, by the way. If purchased the item for $500 in 1993.
Well, I'm going to keep going with my
Wait, I got the number.
You found it. Excellent.
It would have gone up 111% to $1,057.75 if it was on sale today.
Wow. I bet he would go in there and buy it right away. Like now, today.
He would buy it?
Oh, yeah. He would buy it so no one else could.
Well, then he's giving money to the corporations that he hates.
So what you do is you buy it, so then you have it, no one else can wear it, then burn the store down.
That, or tell people to protest against it. Do a partnership with a clothing company where you make it and sell it for far cheaper, like far fucking cheaper. Or even if it's a little pricier, most of that money goes to charity. Boom.
To make the more expensive one completely worthless.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
That's the best way you can protest against it.
Sneaky.
Anyways, corduroy.
Yes. Okay. Do you also have a hard time remembering how to spell corduroy?
To be outside of Pearl Jam, I can't recall a time where I've had to spell corduroy.
Yeah, and I never remember, so I literally had to go to Google Assistant and just say the word corduroy so it would show up. So I hope someone else is in that zone with me as well.
As a matter of fact, this word is so rare in my English language lexicon in my head, I didn't know how to say it properly. I said it a couple different ways until like I had to hear like a pronunciation. It's like corduroy. I was like, oh, okay. Oh. Like I never have an excuse to say anything corduroy. I don't own corduroy shirts or corduroy things. Apparently it's like a color or something too, or something along. I don't even fucking know. And with this song, like I never, like I would listen to it, but I never have to say the name of it. So I was just like, oh, it's that song. I'll just put it on.
Yeah. It's one where you're like, yeah, I definitely know this song, but I don't think he says the word at all. So you're like, yeah, I have no idea what song that actually is.
I've always called the song Chord. That's it. I don't even worry about the other part because I'm pretty sure I'm like 20% dyslexic.
You just save your ego by not trying the rest.
That's like the song Albuquerque by Weird Al, where he starts spelling Albuquerque and he gets like 3 or 4 letters in, and then he's just like Kirky. Yeah, he gets ALBE and then just a long pause. Kirky.
You know, we got to do a Weird Al album as well.
That's going to be very. We'll talk about it later.
So I love that the acoustic guitar adds some brightness. I like this song despite not remembering how to spell it. This song sounds so tight. It sounds compared to the songs that we have heard so far, and I don't know if it is sort of that punky, grungy, dirty sort of vibe, this one seems like brand new, shiny, and clean. It's very tight. It doesn't seem like it really strays far from being destined for radio. And even the bridge going into the solo, super tasty.
The only other note I have to say is like I did feel like this one stretched on just a bit. The last quarter at least had a decent change up, so like I enjoyed it all the way through at the very least, but still this one still felt like it stretched just a bit. And it's not even one of the longer songs in the album technically. It's only like just a little over 4.5 minutes.
Right.
Okay, we'll move on to song number quote unquote song number 9, Bugs. Okay, and so obviously this one's a very fucking weird, out of left field, why did they do this kind of track? So again, glad I looked at the meaning behind it. And I think I understand the message behind it, though it didn't much affect the score. Apparently the song is about how the media has always been all over the band and they just kind of started nicknaming them Bugs. And so I think this is them just being super ballsy and making a very inaccessible, shitty track to like deter them in a way. So, I mean,
mission accomplished.
Points for the message too. Other than that, all I have is, what the hell is this? I guess if this is a song directed at the media to make an ultra strange sounding track, it'll deter them. That's fine. Other than that, what is this? Because it's this accordion playing the same 2 bars over and over. It's pretty nauseating. So, points for the message. No points for anything else.
Okay, I have 3 points. 1, not even a little part of me wants to hear this. 2, should have been a hidden track at the end. 3, I'm sure it's an analogy for invasive fans. Close enough. But I'm actually good with never hearing this again. Done.
Well, I can't imagine there's a point where I don't think there's any Pearl Jam fan who wants to come back to this track. The only way you would do it is if you're actually making a commentary on it, right? And like you're discussing it and trying to point out something. But you wouldn't just be like even if you had this album, you just had it on. Like if you have it on vinyl, then maybe you'll just let it slide because you don't feel like going over and skipping the needle. Right. But if you're on like Spotify, you are skipping this track.
Yep.
So, I mean, again, I'll just say again, points for the message, points for the idea behind it, nothing else.
No points for Gryffindor. Move on.
No points for fucking the Harry Potter. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't care about Harry Potter.
No, I definitely don't as well. And I find Harry Potter.
But you made the reference.
Well, yeah, because no points for blank is from it's from the internet, Kris. Come on. How old are you? Fuck, what are you, 10?
No, I'm way too fucking old for the internet. I just learned what flossing. That's a lie. I've known what that is, and I hate it. Anyways, on to more relevant thing, like song number 10, Satan's Bed.
The chorus to this song, I didn't like it. Sounds like it belongs to a different song.
A different song?
Yes.
Like a different song on this album, or like?
No, just a different song. It does. I don't know. It's weird. I didn't like it very much. It didn't seem like it meshed. You know, when you see a couple, like 2 people, and you're like, how did they get together? That's this song with its chorus.
This song definitely gave me the idea, like this sounded similar to some of the other tracks we've already heard, but to like a lesser extent. I wasn't huge on this one either. Part of this feels like something out of their later catalog, but except for maybe the lyrics, I guess, which, by the way, I'll get into that, I guess. The lyrics, this song feels like it. I'm going to read what I wrote verbatim because, like, sometimes it's my own interpretation. Sometimes it's like something I read. The song, it feels like it's about trying to avoid a sleazier lifestyle and wanting to find something real. Again, that's my own interpretation. I don't know if I'm right or not, but still, regardless, that's kind of what I got from it. So a lot of it makes sense, but then musically listening to it is just like, it's not necessarily bad, but nothing really truly special about it. And it's kind of funny how they have the whipping sound effect at the beginning of this song and not at the beginning of whipping.
Right.
I mean, maybe because the subject matter in that one was much darker, so you don't want to get too cartoony with it.
Yeah, I get that.
But still, it's just, I found it kind of weird. It's like you could have added like chains dragging on the ground instead of whipping, because then you're gonna call back to the previous song that has nothing to do with. So it's like, I don't know, kind of weird. There's no connecting themes here.
I do agree with that. So, okay, so I have 3 notes altogether, so I'm going to just spew those out. There is a line later in the song that says he won't suck Satan's dick.
Hell yeah, brother.
Good to know he won't suck Satan's dick.
So he's homophobic, is what you're saying.
Google Docs demands Satan to be spelled with a capital S. So I am sorry, Mr. Satan, for the disrespect.
I was going to say that it's a name. Satan is a name.
I thought it was Lucifer. And then it's like, Satan, where it's like Savannah is a woman. I wouldn't capitalize woman.
You know what I mean? I guess, but I've knew Satan as being one being. I thought Lucifer and Satan were the same fucking things, just different like iterations.
I don't believe in anything, so I have no idea.
Neither do I. So,
and my last one for those 3 is, so I read the lyrics solely because of the Satan's dick line, and this is just Eddie Vedder lamenting the commercialization of grunge once again and saying, "I'll never sell out, man," and that's what I got from that. But with the song, middle of the road with this one, it wasn't the best, definitely not the worst, and the low speaking and like spanking sounds during the guitar solo scared the shit out of me because I'm home alone and I'm like listening to it with earbuds, and then I hear that, and the first thing I did was whip one out, and I like turned around because I've never heard this song before, so I didn't expect it, and I thought someone was in my house. Terrifying.
It's funny because when I listen to these albums, the headphones I'm using now, these are the ones I use to listen to my album. It's like I have studio quality headphones. I usually wear them in the podcast. I had to wear these cheap ones because this fucking hat that keeps sliding off my fucking head wouldn't allow the other headphones, so I had to use these ones. So like, I don't even notice sounds around me when I'm listening to music. Like everything I hear is in the headphones, like there. So I wouldn't have the same problem.
Don't scare.
I do like how you refer to it as a spanking sound, though. Very.
I didn't know what it was, but that's kind of what I got from that.
Yeah, I still like. Again, nothing really outstanding about this. I still like the sound and energy, but it's just nothing special overall.
Yes.
Cool. Moving on to song number 11, the biggest not single on the album, "Better Man."
So I'm probably wrong with a bunch of this, but from what I can recall, Eddie Vedder wrote this song before he was even in Pearl Jam and didn't like it enough to include it on anything before now.
Well, and as I said, actually with that note, I didn't even know that. So I wonder if maybe Nothing Man was also written, or maybe he wrote that in response to this song that he's apparently had sitting around for a while.
Maybe.
Because like this is the call and answer to Nothing Man. This is I guess again the woman's perspective, the other partner's perspective. Mm-hmm. So not much to explain with the lyrics there, as I kind of already did with Nothing Man. I didn't recall the song having like this like big ominous opening to it, like very strange. Like, are you gonna mention like the radio kind of cutting it out? Yes. Yeah. Well, because I guess you wouldn't really need that section on the radio, right? You just want to get right into that, like like the actual riff of the song, where it's like everything else is kind of like this weird, kind of creepy, ominous buildup, like this black like smoke and fog, and but then just dissipates into this like sunlit bedroom of this woman laying in bed, looking sad and everything like that. Just like, what was with the black smoke and fog? Why was that there?
She's not sick. She's fine.
And like this, as far as I can tell, the man's not like abusive and evil. Just he's like, they're disconnected now is what it is. Yeah. So like the imagery is kind of strange in this one. It's very back and forth, contradictory.
Fair. I always think of like the shittiest guy ever, only because like, you know how you'll take your own interpretation and kind of relate it to
Sorry, I keep pushing my bangs further down. I think it's just looking funnier and funnier because like my head's already getting messed up. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Just
referring to your hair. And I apologize anyone who can't see this. Actually, you know what? I don't apologize. You're welcome. But your bangs look like someone who's working at the fryer at McDonald's and they haven't given him a break in 6 hours.
And I'm also not wearing my hairnet. Haha, fuckers.
Like it's like that guy in Office Space, stapler guy. It's like that. That's how I imagine it. So keep going. I like it.
Every time you look up, it's gonna look different.
Fucking terrible.
You're gonna do the
So I will sort of think of this song, you know, with people that I've had in my life or that I know. So I always just think of like the worst. I just think of like the worst of the worst. But when it comes to the music, I absolutely love singing this song because unfortunately my vocal range is Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, you've made that comment before too.
Yeah.
Maybe even on the second anniversary, or maybe in another episode where you're just like, Eddie
Yeah.
Vedder is like the comfort. Like your shower singing is definitely
Yes.
the better range.
Oh yeah. I have select songs. The one I'm best at is Hey Jealousy by the Gin Blossoms. Oh, I'm so good at that one. But as soon as you stop playing the song, it's not so good. But like, it's not bad.
You're
I
only
love
as
singing
good as
this
the
one.
song sounds when it's louder than you.
Exactly. I'm not good at singing, but I'm good at mimicking.
This song has an organ in it, which is like a really nice touch to it. Too adds like that good emotional sting to the song, especially given the subject matter, because it's like, again, it's kind of sad. In like the pickup halfway through is actually super fitting. Part of me would have been okay if it was just like a quieter song all the way through, but I did like the pickup halfway through, especially with the prominence of like the acoustic guitar as well. They made that kind of much heavier moving forward. And yes, I did burp in there.
Yeah.
But the acoustic guitar belch. Like I don't know. I kind of like the way they added that. They didn't have to like completely go electric with it, so that was pretty good. And adds like a great texture to the track too. And it the ending stretched a bit, but other than that, it's a pretty decent track.
Okay, so I'm pretty much just going to mimic everything. I'm going to plagiarize what you said, but put it in my own words.
All right.
The organ gives such an eerie feel, but it fills nicely because it's just the organ and guitar. Feels nice. I don't know what the fuck that means. Just the organ and guitar. I love that the rest of the band comes in with just some snare hits. It is quite seamless. It feels like it's just Mike and Eddie on the stage with like curtains closed behind them. And then as the curtains open, the band fades in. And I like that imagery of just sort of, I don't know, they're getting the support from the band that she's not getting in the song. So thought hard about that one. I really like the vocalizations at the end as the song is sort of ending. It's just another reason why it's so fun to sing.
Yeah, that wasn't Eddie Vedder doing his own backup vocals too. That was actually, I don't know which one or how many of them do backup vocals. Might be Mike McCready.
I think Jeff definitely does, and he's the only one that I've
okay, well then
seen.
you're probably right because I actually have zero idea.
You're just guessing.
Yeah, is it Mike McCready, the guy who's doing lead guitar and probably can't sing at the same time? It's probably him. So that's my first guess.
I think he actually sings a song on an album. Don't know which one it is, but
is it P by the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Maybe. It's not.
I just having to call back to that one. Okay, I guess we will move straight along now if we are indeed ready to. So song number 12, Aya Devanita, Aya Devanita. So with this one, there's not really any lyrics to it. Apparently in the booklet for the album, again, song has no lyrics technically, but there is a poem in the section of this song, and it's about a girl recounting the best and worst days of her life.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that in. Well, you wouldn't be able to get that by listening to the song.
Yeah, not at all.
But
I'm
just
trying
saying,
to make the connection.
So that's why the song's probably not it's not about that. Maybe they just wanted to throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I thought I'd throw that in there as a quick little trivia note.
So nobody was around filtering their ideas, were they?
Well, I mean, Brendan O'Brien, who's worked with a bunch of other people, so maybe he just thought it was a good idea.
They had studio time to fill. It sounds like some sort of religious chant. And it's starting to feel like there's like some fluff songs in this whole album. It kind of feels like I'm listening to like a collector's version of demos.
With something like this, yeah, because it's a weird like interlude track, right?
Right.
There's no comfortable place for this fucking hat on my head because of the headphones. Like I can't do anything.
Take the damn hat off.
No, I'm committed to the bit.
I'll take the glasses off.
You already technically did. Didn't you start the podcast with them off?
No. I had them on. I've had them on the whole time. I poked out the lenses because I couldn't see jack shit, but now it's not that bad.
But also, you did say off camera, it's like, oh, I'll probably take these off. I'm like, well, you can go right ahead, but I'm all for this.
Yeah. Well, as long as you have that on, I'm gonna keep these on. Solidarity, you know.
Maybe this will just fall to the back of my neck, and I won't even have to deal with it anymore. I don't know.
I hope it pulls your headphones off, and I hope that part where the cord meets chokes you slightly.
Looks like
just enough to alarm you.
Looks like I have a fucking failing hairpiece going on here. I'm not bald, not yet. Leave me alone.
This song clearly doesn't need much review if this is what we're talking about.
Well, I had one, maybe two notes about it, and they're pretty quick too. So like this started out to me as more of like a 70s psych rock jam than I would have possibly ever anticipated on this kind of album. That's fucking annoying me. And I gotta say, as someone with a classic rock show, Sundays from 2 to 4 on Indie 101.5, wink, I'd be quite familiar with that kind of whole concept, you know? So it's all good.
I went the other direction and say I could hear this music backing a Motown-inspired song.
Motown?
Yeah, it seemed a little bit more, I don't want to say funky, but it was just, I don't know, didn't give me psychedelic. It gave me more
not
smooth.
Heavy psychedelic, but just like in that era of things like early to mid 70s. And it's like kind of got the psychedelic touches, but it's not quite there. You know, it's kind of like, never mind, I don't have a fucking example. I didn't think of anything.
I wonder if psychedelic Motown is a genre.
There's a fucking genre for anything and everything you can think of.
Microwave beep music.
There's probably like fartcore. There's probably like, you know, brutal orgasm death music. I don't know. Like there's a bunch of weird shit out there.
It's psychedelic soul music.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
Dude, I know what the rest of my night's gonna include. Sweet.
But yeah, just a small little psych jam in this one. I enjoyed it for being under 3 minutes. It was a fun experimental little piece to throw in as compared to the other interludes. So, hey, not bad.
Meh.
Cool. So a big X on that one there.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to put a little... Where did I put it?
Fucking X them all.
Maybe spoiler, but it's a hell of a lot higher up than I thought it was. Jeez, then again, it wasn't that great, so I shouldn't be that surprised. I'll just leave that one empty for now. Song number 13. Yes, 13. Immortality. And although this song, it's funny to me, feels like it's specifically kicks us in the dick. Our collective podcast dick. Because apparently it has to do with, you know, making compromises to feed your success. Like, you know, how, for example, like bands get really big on their sound, but then like the lyrics kind of go unnoticed, which up till today, like lyrical analysis has been bare minimum. So,
yeah.
Oh man, this was an attack song to us like fucking 27 years before we started a podcast.
Yeah, but honestly, if we were always doing lyrical analyses, I feel like we would never, ever, ever do that artist justice because all we're going to do is talk about what the meaning is. Because as soon as we start to add our opinion, I feel like it kind of cheapens the meaning. Or those bands that will write sort of vague lyrics because it means something to them, but won't tell what the song is about because they're like, well, I want you to think about this person to you or this experience to you. And then you kind of get permission to think whatever you want or fit that song around your life. But when you have a band that's like, oh, no, you're not listening to the lyrics. As soon as you listen to those lyrics and you're like, oh, no, I don't agree. They're like, well, how come you don't agree? And it's like, man, you can't really win when it comes to lyrics. At least music is accepted more wholly as subjective rather than right or wrong.
Yeah. And like, I know we've gotten I don't want to say a lot of comments. We've gotten feedback in the past, people asking like why we don't do lyrical analysis. I mean, for the longest time, it was just like, you know, we don't really have the time to because that adds time onto a review. It made this one just a bit longer for me as well. And like this podcast as it is sits right now is our part-time job, let's just say, because we're not technically making money off of it, and we have like lives and work and all that kind of stuff outside of this podcast. So I mean, if this was a full-time job, then 100% I would kind of like what I did today. I would kind of do every single song. Maybe I'll try to do it a little more going forward, but I can't guarantee that lyrics will necessarily make or break a score.
Yeah.
Like I'll just say what the song is about and then move on, because again, as you kind of already said, like the music is kind of what everyone gravitates towards.
Yeah,
you can appreciate the lyrics. Like there are like songs with terrible music and great lyrics, and there's songs with terrible lyrics and great music. And so like that's why it's so weird that it can affect the score so badly like that. And the music's the more graspable thing, whereas you might not relate to certain lyrics, might not understand them. So that's why I don't like, even if I start doing song lyrics moving forward, it's not going to affect the score.
Good.
But it is good to know that we got kicked in the dick for this song, though, at the very least.
I didn't feel it.
The one that woke me up.
Okay with that.
But my first note was just saying, ooh, getting those kind of sleepy end of album vibes in this track, really enjoying the mood of it, which I don't mean anything bad by sleepy. I just like, you can feel the end of the album coming. Things are kind of calming down now. Nothing gets too crazy in the song at all. The energy is kind of behind us now, for the most part. Because we do have that one more song. But yeah, just I enjoy what Immortality is, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure I've heard the song before, but then when I heard it, like I didn't recall it at all.
Oh no, I heard the guitar at the very beginning, and I was like, oh, I've heard it, but I always have to go back and see what the song title is, because there's sort of slower songs like Yellow Ledbetter or all of those other ones I can't think of, Immortality, Nothing Man. To me, they're all one song, and I never know which one's which until I actually look at the title. But with this one, okay, I have positive and a negative and a plagiarism. So plagiarism for you is I definitely agree with the come down and the sort of, relaxy kind of, okay, we're done. You can sort of calm down now. I've learned that I like slower paced songs at the end of albums, so I'm not all wound up as the album closes, because it leaves me wanting more. But with a song like this and many other albums that we've done, it feels like it's coming to a logical conclusion. And I know it's either the last song or the second last song, but as long as they're placed there, it feels like you're getting the "and they lived happily ever after." And I like that. I find that comforting. Chorus, too much crash cymbal, or it's just annoyingly loud. Not a fan of that. The solo, now I'm going to go real Canadian on everyone here. The solo feels like someone really giving her on an acoustic at a campfire. And I like it. It's fun. It's very fun.
The solo is nice, because I also mentioned like the little solo licks between like the chorus and verse as well, because they're like these small little fills that kind of transition. I really like those too. I think there's great guitar work all over this track. I do really like it. Good clean tones that just really fit the overall atmosphere of the track, so that's always nice to have. And maybe things stretch out a bit long, but I don't mind it so much. It still sounds good, and plus like we're coming to the end of the album, so you won't hear me complain about it too much. But the problem is, I think even with an end of the album kind of track, like this one felt fairly anticlimactic, because like it felt like it was going to end well, and towards the end it felt like it was building towards something that didn't even bother trying for. Like it just faded out as it was still kind of like doing these like building kind of plucking things. And it was, I don't know, that part kind of annoyed me, but it was still a good song though, I'll say that much.
The end was okay, but it, again, I wrote down, it didn't give me anything at all. Same as you. I just wanted to get my point in. I like repeating what you say. I'm like woman-splaining your points. You're welcome.
Do I have to mansplain to anyone what woman-splaining is?
Yes.
I just love jumping in and always like, because I know how much people hate mansplaining, and it's kind of a dumb concept anyways. So I always like, do I have to mansplain this simple concept to you? Like I just love that shit. Because then you just watch the reaction on people's faces, and it's just like, yeah, see, that's why it works. Okay, then let's move on to the quote unquote last track of the album. This is gonna get weird. So, not just the title either. Like I'm talking like this whole fucking thing together with my weird ass hat. Song number 14. It's called two different things on Spotify and in Wikipedia. Spotify has it as "Stupid Mop," and Wikipedia has it as "Hey Foxy Mop Handle Mama, That's Me." So remember how I told you in the beginning of the last track and how it was like people don't have to pay attention to like the lyrics, they'll just pay attention to the sound and everything like that. This has some pretty dark and morbid subject matter if you listen to the recordings that are happening. Because so Eddie Vedder recorded this news broadcast he heard when he was 17, and they were interviewing people in an institution, like institutionalized people who have been there for like years and years and years. And like the things that these people are being asked and what they're saying in response are really kind of sad. And the reason why it's called "Hey Foxy Mop Handle Mama, That's Me" is because that's a line that's repeated by a woman being interviewed who is institutionalized, and she says it, and she also says "stupid mop" a lot too. So yeah, I don't know, given the subject matter, this song is kind of hard to listen to, because apparently when he recorded it and wanted to use it for a song, it was because the news report had a lot to do with like they were taking away funding from mental hospitals and institutions, just letting these people go without adequate care into society. And it was, I mean, that's obviously problematic. So he just kind of wanted to make this to emphasize that, because like even by 94 it was still an issue. And guess what, today, although institutions aren't as much a thing, they still exist, but whatever, mental health still is very dangerously underfunded. So, yeah. Not trying to get political on anyone, but it is a fact. Just saying. I know you probably don't like this track.
That's a real bummer.
I don't like the track either. I'll say that much.
It makes me feel bad that I don't like it.
But see, this is why we try not to incorporate the lyrics too much, right? Because the music is the accessible part.
Yes. Yeah, because it would have been so much better if I said, I have four points for this. By the time I said, "What even is this?" it was almost 3 minutes. Sorry if you love this, but I do not. This is a borderline jam, borderline mess around in the studio trying to get a riff that sounds good, and that was it. I didn't listen to the lyrics, or didn't listen to the vocals, I guess, too closely. I will now.
Go read. You don't have to listen again. Just go read them, because you'll understand immediately. Because there's no deep meaning behind it. Like this is a question and answer period between a narrator and these patients. So everything is straightforward, and none of it feels good to listen to at all. You do this later. Come on, we gotta finish this up. I see you looking over at your laptop.
No, I'm on my laptop still.
Well, I say whenever you go down to your the bottom left of your screen there, I know you're looking something up. I've learned your facial directions here. It's been a while, okay? But yeah, this is kind of like a noisy, kind of almost avant-garde kind of jam, but it's much quieter in the background over top of all these pre-recorded stuffs. Because again, Eddie recorded this when he was 17, just used it now, and they obviously looped a bunch of stuff too, because a lot of same things are repeated. The message is obviously far more important here. The music is just there, it's backing up everything else. It's not really anything. Yeah. The song as a whole is nothing spectacular. This is kind of like Pride 2 or the Ayad Devaniad or whatever the hell it was called. These are not songs that you were likely to come back to. Again, people commentating like us will come to these tracks and talk about them. But other than that, you will not just show the song off. This isn't on your fucking Summer Jams playlist. This probably isn't even on your Lonely Nights playlist either. I can almost guarantee.
Or you add the whole album to a playlist and you just take this song off.
I haven't done that before, but
I do it all the time. Yep.
Again, nothing spectacular. It's very unsettling overall, though, especially once you start understanding the lyrics. A bold choice to close the album on, I will say that much. I still feel Immortality is the proper closer, but this is just one of those post-credit things where you realize things are still pretty fucked up.
Immortality, it feels like a nice logical conclusion. Stupid mop. Well, psych. It's I feel more anxious than I felt coming into this. Ugh.
Well, I guess the point was like what these people are talking about in the song too was like Eddie's way of showing like these people still do need help, and they're not going to get it now since they're underfunded, and they're just going to be let out in society, and that has been tremendously known to cause horrible issues. Not necessarily blaming the people with mental issues because again they need the help and now they're not getting it. So he's emphasizing the point like these are the people coming out in society right now. So I mean like. Talk to your governments and tell them to fucking change things.
Yikes.
Again, not trying to get political, but Pearl Jam's a very political band, so what can I say?
Yep.
Have you seen them lately? He only ever talks about government stuff.
No, I haven't.
Well, I know their Instagram's full of like protest stuff and everything like that too, so there's that. Anyways, here we are a little while later at the very end of Pearl Jam's Vitalogy. So, hey, Vitalogy, there you go. I got this eventually. Anyways, thank you very much for joining us and making it this far through the album. We'd love to hear your opinions on everything because obviously we did a lot of talking. We'll want to hear yours now, but you can always do more too because of course we have to move on to part 2 of the podcast. We have to rank the songs, 14 of them on each side. So I guess we'll do that above our heads. Boom. I don't want to look up high too far high because graphics have changed. There are names, there are numbers. There's going to be more names, song names to be specific because as I said, 14 songs on each side, 28 overall. Which songs will be worst to best, least favorite to favorite, not so great to great, whatever you want to rank them as, that's what we're doing.
I don't think we're going to have any matches this week. There is just this nagging. I just don't think so.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I hope for at least one. There's 14 songs. Like
I think you are much more forgiving. And I think maybe we'll get close, but I don't think we're going to get any.
It's our anniversary. We have to.
Well, if we do, good. I will totally eat my words. I will eat my hat. But
your non-existent hat. Eat my hat, please. It's fucking annoying.
Sure, I'll boil it. That's fine. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get any. I'm hoping for at least one. Obviously, I hope for that every week. But I'm not too confident in this one.
Well, let's see how right and or wrong you are. God, imagine we had tons of matches for this one.
Oh my God, that's fine.
We've had 2 episodes in a row where we don't have any matches. We need to get back into the groove.
This is the first time I will accept defeat of any kind.
You've done it before, you'll do it again. Song number 14, Bugs.
Okay, there's our match.
All right, good. So there's a match. Eat my fucking hat. If there's 2, I will then tell you to eat my ass. Song number 13, Pry 2.
13, Stupid Mop.
Stupid Mop. Song number 12, Stupid Mop.
12, Pry 2. Okay, we're starting off strong.
With all these one-off, but one match at the very least. Number 11, Satan's Bed.
I don't know how to say this. Davenita.
Davenita?
Yeah.
Okay. Song number 10, Aya Davenita.
Hey, wait, what was your 11 again?
Oh, 11, sorry, Satan's Bed.
Yeah, 10 is Satan's Bed, so this is exciting.
Holy
okay,
shit.
You know what? Maybe we're doing better. I know they're one-offs.
Better, we're still not matching.
But they're one-offs, which show that the ones that we like are all at the top, so there's more of a chance for those to match.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Number 9, Whipping.
Tremor Christ. And I fucked it up, didn't I?
Yeah, probably. Number 8, Nothing Man.
Number 8, Nothing Man. Jesus.
You got 2.
I got to eat 2 hats.
We're only going to get 2 matches for our 2-year anniversary. That's all. Nothing else matches from this point forward. Number 7, Immortality.
Yeah.
That's 2, but 1 more.
That's really funny.
All right, number 6, Corduroy.
Number 6, Whipping.
Whipping. You really got to get your disgusting throat noises in there. Number 5, Not For You.
Number 5, Last Exit. And this is where it all falls apart.
But we got 3 matches so far.
That is pretty good.
Number 4, Better Man.
Number 4, Spin the Black Circle. Spin the Back Circle.
Number 3, Last Exit.
Number 3, Not For You.
And yeah, we're done matching. We can't match anything else.
Yeah, that's it.
Not For You. Number 2, Tremor Christ.
Number 2, Better Man.
And number 1, Spin the Black Circle.
Corduroy.
I guess that makes sense. But you know what? 3 matches. I'll take it.
Pretty good.
You said none. I said we've got to do at least 1 because it's 14 tracks, and we got 3.
You know what? I will take the L on not immediately thinking we were going to get Bugs as a match.
Yeah, I mean, like, we both kind of talk shit on it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
with Pride 2, at least it seemed like there was a little more going on with it, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay, so yeah, 3 matches. Happy anniversary to us. That's good. But now we got to see how close we can match the album rating. So let's just transition screens now and find out. Swish. Oh, hello there, album rating screen. We haven't seen you in, 7 days. Never mind. It hasn't been that long. So yes, the album rating screen, here it is. Everything in all of its glory. All the B tier albums in their B tier glory, their glory.
Yeah.
We refer to the B tier now as the glory hole.
Oh my God. So then when they're in the C tier, is it the Corey hole or?
The Corey Feldman hole.
Ew. He doesn't deserve a lot of the shit he gets.
No, probably not. But anyways, Pearl Jam deserves a place on our list at the very least with Vitalogy. They already have 2 places on the list, both in the B tier versus being higher. I know that much. So will Vitalogy go above that, below that? We'll go between them. Who knows? We're going to find out right now. So yeah, let's do this. You gave your score first.
Okay, so I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid right off. The songs I really like, but the songs I could live without, I really could live without. And my score ended up being 69.86. And it hurt my feelings. But you know what? There's no going back. There's no going back. There's no score fixing happening here.
I did not think you would have scored it that low, though. Holy
Some of the
shit.
ones that I didn't like, I just did not like. But the ones I really liked, it's middle of the road.
But still, like, same with me. But even so, like, the ones I really liked, and the ones I didn't like, well, it kind of tanked the score a bit, but not enough to take it away from the B tier, because I have it at 75.35%.
I'm just trying to make good content by trying to get things out of the B tier, but your incessant need for the B tier.
I can't help it that I liked it just a bit more, and by a bit I mean I guess 6 points more. So that puts us at 72.60. We're in the B minus tier.
72.60 is just better than the Birthday Massacre, but not as good as Depeche Mode.
So what you're saying though is this is the lowest rated Pearl Jam album we have on the list so far.
I'm going to go ahead and say probably yes.
Oh, I know.
You say it because you know.
No, I don't. You have the list in front of you. I don't have anything in front of me.
Yeah, but you're really good at remembering episode.
Oh, not anymore. That
numbers.
is gone since season 4. That has been gone.
Yeah,
There's
your brain's washed.
I got
Pearl Jam
balloons
10.
on my head. Okay, fuck.
Pearl Jam 10, 74.10. Pearl Jam versus 76.24.
Yeah, so this is definitely the lower of them. And it's, you know what's funny is, like, I feel like, well, obviously, surprise, each year we're going to keep doing Pearl Jam albums for the anniversary for as long as we go. So I'm trying to think of how low they're going to go as we keep continuing. There's going to be some that aren't bad, but I can imagine after a while there's going to be some that just might actually hit C tier.
I can't wait until we get to Lightning Bolt and it's going to be a complete reverse. I'm going to be like, yeah, it was 85. And you're like, what are you, fucking nuts? And then you just put it down in the C tier. Oh, yeah. Well, you know how bands are really popular, and then as they go on their albums, you're like, well, it's a Pearl Jam album, that's for sure. I'm sure that we'll get some of those.
That's kind of how I feel about the self-titled album, which is coming up in 4 more years or so.
Yeah.
My God, will we even be around for that point? Who knows? Will the world be around for that point? There's your dark, not optimistic, pessimistic point of the day. Because I can say that because we're at the end of the podcast, not the end of the world, though. So, hey, thank you very much for joining us for our 2-year anniversary of the Rate the Record podcast, episode 88. Third time for Pearl Jam. Third Pearl Jam's a charm, just like my name says in the video chat there. Yeah. So, yeah, once again, thank you very much for checking out this episode. And thank you very much if you've been checking out the last 2 years of our content or any amount of it at all. If you were watching today's episode and you listened to the album and you have opinions about it, let us know down in the comments below, wherever you're listening, be it in the audio sector or the video sector, doesn't really matter. There's comment sections everywhere. Also, let us know on our social medias at Rock on Record, Rate the Record podcast. Yes, sorry, I mentioned my radio show earlier. Now that's just in my head. Oops, wink. Definitely don't check that out. Rate the Record Podcast over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and all that's found at ratetherecord.ca. All the streaming links, all the social media, the merch that we sell, album requests, because there's plenty of those, and of course the RTR Club, $5 a month at ko-fi.com/ratetherecord. Ratetherecord.ca. Make sure you're checking that out now. One more time, ratetherecord.ca.
Okay, and I guess I will participate just slightly. INDI1015.ca. Rock on Record, Sunday at what time?
Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. on Indie 1015.
There you go. It's actually really good music, so listen to it.
You never tune in anyways. It's all good.
I don't tune in because I am stupid.
Tune in this. I can say this because the show's already over at this point. My radio show this Sunday it's my solo show because Lexi's away, and I'm playing the entire A side of Hemispheres by Rush.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm gonna listen to that then.
The entire fucking A side front to back.
Can I call in?
There's no call in. There's zero call.
Damn it!
You can text me and I'll see what's up. But other than that,
no,
there's no call in.
This has to be on there. But yeah, INDI1015.ca.
Also found on TuneIn Radio 2 as well, if you got that app going on as well. So yeah, enough of that whoring myself out for my radio show. That happens every Sunday, 2 to 4. Rate the Record is what we're doing right now, and it's actually finished. But before we let you go and end this first part of bonus stuff that we're doing, we got bonus stuff to do later too for this podcast. Regardless, we're gonna end this episode, but before we do that, Savannah is going to give us a little sneak preview of what to expect next week. Just because we turned 2 doesn't mean we're finished yet. We got more shit to do.
Okay, so we've done them before in the last 87 episodes we've done. They are in there. I'm not happy about it. I'm actually pretty displeased, and no, it is not Bob Dylan. Thank fucking Christ.
Are you sure about that? I think I got another Bobby D CD on the way for you and me.
I hope you eat it, and I hope you choke.
It is a request next week, though, so
it is.
Maybe someone was cool enough to request Bob Dylan.
No.
No. I haven't done that in a while. I miss that guy.
I don't.
Alrighty then, well, we're going to let you go because we're going to record more stuff now, including something that's coming out tomorrow from the release of this podcast. We're doing the mixtape episode that's coming out tomorrow. We're filming mixtapes. We're going to see how much we like each other's music, I guess, and see if we know each other's
terrified.
Well, find out tomorrow, or if this is in the future, find out right now. Go to the video right now. Why the fuck not? So until we see you next week or even tomorrow, go listen to some awesome music like Pearl Jam with their other album Vitalogy. And we'll see you again next week. Take care, friends.
Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.